All right, before I hijack this Q&A with everything that I want to ask you, Anish, let's go to what the real people who actually matter want to ask you, which are our premium
the
members.
real people, the bots, yeah? Okay, the bot army, okay.
I am Tanya Bot, yes. All right, so ready for the first one? It's GM Aryan, and GM Aryan says, hello, Anish. After Candidates 2016, you faced different kind of critics regarding draws. How did you overcome it? Was it tough?
Yeah, well, there are many ways to answer the question. My favorite one is probably to say, if you don't like draws, then chess is not the game for you, because it's part of the game. It's the most likely result between, I mean, it's not the only result, it's the most likely one. So if you don't like draws, you really should play something else, maybe tic-tac-toe or whatever.
I mean, you said in chess there are a lot of draws, and that's a normal result, and that's absolutely correct. But also the fact that all your games are actually extremely fighting games. They're not like, you know how in chess in the earlier times there are these short draws, or you play positions which are dry. It's never been like that. And at the top level, sorry, go on.
Yeah, for sure, that's a good point, but that's in a way irrelevant as well. I mean, it is a relevant point, but it is a relevant point, which is actually in a way irrelevant to, like, look, the thing is here, a few people, they face certain criticism. For example, we take Vishy Anand, for example, as a good example of he's a legendary player, you know, that achieved everything, and he's a 6-time world champion and whatnot, one of the greatest players of all time. So yet, let's say for the past, I don't know, 20 years, people sometimes, some critics, they after a bad tournament, they say, well, Vishy is, for example, too old, yeah? Well, let's say, you can never say that about, for example, Ding Liren. Like, let's say that right now Ding Liren plays badly. Are you going to say Ding Liren is too old? No, you're not going to say that. You're just going to say Ding Liren has a bad tournament, and that's it. And you let him in peace until he comes back in the next tournament. While Vishy, he will be, every time he has a bad tournament, he has to defend, like, and the same thing with the draw thing. Like, there are people, everybody makes a draw, but only I have to be the one replying to that. I mean, let's say Grishuk made 7 draws in a row with me, you know, and then I have to face the conversation while he gets to sleep, you understand, and play tomorrow the next day. So it is just, that makes it just, and whether you are fighting or not, that's not even relevant. Honestly, that's not even relevant. Some people are not fighting and they don't get any criticism, and sometimes they, like, well, all top players are fighting, not every day. I mean, the greatest, funkiest player sometimes who just feel it's not their day, and in fact, they afford it much more often than others, because, for example, I know if I will come to a game in Vaikanze tournament with white, you know, and make a quick draw in half an hour, I'm never going to hear the end of it. While some players, they have a reputation as some kind of geniuses, and then they know, well, they can do that, and, you know, nobody will say anything.
No one.
So in a way, this only pushes me to, sometimes it's good, sometimes it motivates me more, sometimes, of course, also it damages me to an extent, because I have, let's say, more pressure on me than others because of that.
Yeah, and at your level, I mean, draw is a more probable result than any other result. So after listening to that, I think
it really kind of sucks. I mean, you know, like,
it sucks.
The odds are high that the odds are high that you're gonna make a draw, and if every time you make a draw you feel bad about it, I mean, maybe do something else, you know. That's really not.
No, I get your point. I think that's a very valid point, Anish. But kudos to you for taking all that on and just you know, still being at the very top, not letting it get to you, just the banter that you put out. I think lots of respect for you for that. Let's move on to the next question, Anish, and that's by